All right, today we're jumping into something really important, an issue that hits right at the heart of opportunity for students and their families all across Meghalaya. We're going to break down how scholarship funds, money meant to build futures, are allegedly just disappearing. Let's get into it. Wow, this one sentence, it just says it all, doesn't it? This isn't just a simple mistake or some bureaucratic mix-up. We're talking about a promise that's been broken, a promise to the next generation. Because when the money for education vanishes, so do the dreams of countless students.
So this is the big one, right? This is the central question that every single student, every parent, and frankly every citizen in Meghalaya should be demanding an answer to. So let's start following the trail together.
Okay, first things first. Let's get to the bottom of the problem itself. What is actually going on here at the core of this whole scholarship mess?
So here's the breakdown. You've got money for all sorts of scholarships, for tribal students, for students based on merit, for those who really need the financial help, but that money is being siphoned off. Instead of going to the students who've earned it, it's going to people who shouldn't get it, or people who don't even exist. And the result? The students who are eligible get absolutely nothing. And we're talking about a staggering amount of money here, crores of rupees that are just gone.
So you hear this term, ghost beneficiary, and you wonder what it means. It sounds spooky, but it's actually just plain fraud. It's a fake name on a list created for one reason, to steal money. Sometimes it's a completely made-up person. Other times, it's a real person, maybe a relative of an official who just doesn't qualify for the aid. It's one of the main ways the system gets cheated.
Okay, so that's the what. We know what the problem is. Now let's get into the how. How are they actually pulling this off? Let's walk through it. The process itself is disturbingly simple. Step 1, the government sets aside the money for scholarships. But then, and this is the key part, fake lists of beneficiaries get slipped into the system. The money gets rerouted to these ghosts. And the final, heartbreaking result, the real students, the ones who are counting on that help, are left with empty hands.
And this just lays it all out so clearly. The difference is night and day. If you're an actual eligible student, you face denials, endless delays, and you never even get an explanation. But if you're a ghost, well, your payment gets approved and fast. This isn't just a system failing. It's a system that seems designed to work for the scammers.
Knowing how it all works is one thing, but how do you actually expose it? That's what this next part is all about. It's about asking the right questions, the critical questions that can start to peel back the layers on this whole thing.
This is your starting point. It's maybe the most powerful question you can ask. It seems so simple, but trust me, the answer can be incredibly revealing.
Just take a look at this. On one side, you have this mountain of applications from hopeful students, and on the other, this tiny little sliver of actual awards given out. When you see a gap that big, it's a massive red flag. It tells you something is seriously wrong. The system is either totally broken or it's built to reject people.
And here's the thing to understand. A super low approval rate isn't just bad luck. It can be a cover for deliberately rejecting eligible students so that the funds can be misused. But here's your move. File a Right to Information request, an RTI. Ask your college for the data for the last 3 years. The numbers themselves can tell a powerful story.
Okay, next question. Think about it. If your application is denied, you have a right to know why, right? It's a basic matter of transparency.
But that's not what's happening. Instead, students are just hitting a wall of silence. No rejection letter, no email, just nothing. And that silence isn't an accident. It's a feature. It lets corruption thrive in the dark. Because if no one is held accountable, there are never any consequences.
And that silence leads to the big one, the multi-core question. If all these students are being rejected and the money isn't being given out, where on earth does it go?
So you gotta follow the money. It's the oldest rule in the book. If these funds that were never paid out just get absorbed back into the institution's budget as savings, that's not saving. That is straight up theft from students. The action here? Dig into those university financial statements. Demand an explanation for why money meant for students was never actually spent on them.
And this last investigative question, it might be the most direct one of all. Are these programs actually helping the communities they were designed to support in the first place? What we're seeing is incredibly cynical. Scholarships specifically created for SC, ST, OBC, and economically weaker students are allegedly being taken by people who are much more privileged. But here's where you can fight back. Become a data detective. Get those beneficiary lists from the college, compare them against the official student rolls, and find the ghosts yourself.
Okay, so you have the questions, you know what to look for, now what?
What can you actually do about it? This last section lays out a clear, step-by-step action plan.
Look, this isn't about just doing one thing. It's about hitting this problem from all sides. Start by organizing at your college. Form a committee to monitor these scholarships. Use the RTI Act to get the hard data. When you find things that don't add up, report them to the Education Department, to the Lokayaktı. Support your student unions if they take legal action. And just as important, document and share the personal stories. A face and a story make the cold data impossible to ignore.
And never, ever underestimate the power of making noise online. When you find something, publicize it. Using a single, unified hashtag like #Meghalaya scholarship scam brings everyone's voices together. It creates public pressure that becomes too loud for officials to ignore. It turns a scattered few complaints into a movement.
And that's really the bottom line here. This isn't just about us explaining a problem to you. This is about you recognizing the power you have to demand answers, to demand transparency, and to hold the entire system accountable.
So we'll leave you with this one last thought. The tools and the questions we've talked about today, they don't just apply to scholarships. They are the fundamental building blocks of being an engaged citizen. So the real question is, if this can happen here, what other part of the system is waiting for the light of a citizen investigation?